In I Will Rot Without You by Danger Slater from Fungasm Press, 140 pages. Poor Ernie Cotard's apartment is beset by legions of cockroaches and leagues of mold as the world around him atrophies into disgusting weirdness. We meet Ernie in the midst of mourning his breakup with girlfriend Gretchen. Aimlessly, he attempts to make some sense of his new single life, chatting with his neighbors, boisterous Dee and her boyfriend Cutter, who are increasingly growing closer through unnecessary surgery. Mr. Humboldt, a man who keeps the mummified corpse of his wife in his apartment and waxes philosophical about the nature of being, and also the ineffective and potentially fetishistic landlord Chakrabarti. This one is hard to run down as so much happens. The narrative sees Ernie waging war against roaches and fungus with bug spray and cleaning products, while his body starts to decompose day by day. Slater does a great job with the weirdness here, treating it with the correct amount of banality to undercut the bizarreness in a way that we accept it, but still laugh, cringe, or scratch our heads at the appropriate times. A lot of the story sees Ernie interacting with Cross, the oversized, smashed, and resurrected leader of the cockroaches, who seems to be stalking him for some reason. As the story goes on, the weirdness ramps up and things get very bombastic towards the big conclusion. The characters are a ton of fun here. Whether they're integral to the story or just showing up for one or two interactions, they leave an impression and provide some dark comedy to what could be a much bleaker story. I got vibes of Henry from Eraserhead, a milquetoast floating through life, a man who's seemingly at the mercy of all those around him because life either never has or simply no longer makes sense to him. Under all the strangeness and grossness are poignant and sweet messages about self-worth, codependency, acceptance, and moving on. At least that's what I got from it. The title of the story alone, I Will Rot Without You, is something I feel like a lot of people can relate to. The grief of loss, whether it's from breakup, relocation, circumstance, or death, is something that feels like it can literally kill you. It does kill some. Others it reduces to a sort of living death. Being alone can make a person strange, and that's what I've found anyway. Coupled with depression, it can be an ugly cycle that's easy to get caught up in. Life turns into an oscillation between ennui and perceived catastrophe. All the while, you'll feel as though you're becoming less and less of yourself. While it's dangerous to tie yourself too closely to another person or institution, it's also not a good thing to pull too far away from others. I'm not sure if any of that really makes sense, but that's kind of what I got out of this story. Though this one is really gross in some ways with gore, bugs, fungus, and tons of body horror, I still recommend it even for people who might not be into that sort of thing. The story presents itself in such a way that the weirdness dulls the impact of some of the gore and disgusting imagery. I think this one does a good job of blending horror, comedy, and some theming as well. It felt like it balanced its elements well, and presented its internal logic in a way that kept me reading. This is my first read from Slater, and I'm interested to look into more of their work. I did this one as an audiobook, and the performance was very well done. Even sped up to 2.25x for a quick recap before writing this. If you want to check out I Will Rot Without You, it's available on Amazon, anywhere you buy horror books. Check out dangerslater.blogspot.com and fungasmpress.com for more info, and pick up a copy of I Will Rot Without You. Or get it on Audible, that's how I did it. I think you'll like that too. What do you think, Winston? Did you like I Will Rot Without You? You don't have to worry about that, you're made of metal.
I rate I Will Rot Without You by Danger Slater 3 Giant Resurrected Cockroaches.